بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome dear students. This is Miss Layla Al-Jihani. Inshallah today we will start our new semester, semester 3. Hopefully the lessons will be very helpful for all of you. Everything will be smooth and easy for everyone. Inshallah today we will start our semester with unit 3 from our book Super Goal 6. Today inshallah we will cover 2 units, lesson 1 and 2. Two lessons, 1 and 2, listen and discuss, and pair work, okay? Before we, inshallah today in our lesson, our unit, we will cover these objectives. By the end of it, inshallah, you will be able to talk about the given pictures. We will have different pictures. We will talk about it, we will discuss it, and we will answer questions related to these pictures. This is the first thing we will do. We will learn a new vocabulary, and we will use this vocabulary which is related to people's activities, things people do in their lives. Also, we will be able to ask and answer questions related to activities around the city. Okay? Before we start our lesson, I have this question. When you wake up in the morning, can you think about what was happening while you were getting ready for school this morning? This morning, when you were preparing for school, did anything happen around you? Do you notice the things around you? Do you look at your siblings, your mother, your father? You are preparing for school. What are they doing? Are they doing the same? What is your mother doing? Think about it and tell me. Give me examples. What are the people around you doing when you were preparing for school, when you are getting ready for school? Can you tell me? Excellent. Some of you said my mother was cooking. My mother was cooking when I was getting ready for school. Excellent. My brother was taking a shower. Excellent. When I was getting ready for school. Excellent examples. I prepared these 2 examples here. My mother was making, notice we're using the past. خلاص, we are in school now, in class. We're talking about something happened in the past, صح? So my mother was making breakfast while I was brushing my teeth. I was eating breakfast when I heard the news about teams when on TV. Okay, so you tell me things happened around you when you are getting ready for school. I have 2 more questions. Was it sunny when you were coming to school? When you are in the car, when you were in the car or on the bus, was it sunny? How was the weather? How was it? Was it sunny, rainy, cloudy? Can you tell me, was it sunny? If it is, say yes, it was. If it's not sunny, if it's cloudy or rainy, you would say no, it wasn't, it was, and tell me, okay? Were you watching TV while you were eating breakfast? When you are eating breakfast, do you watch TV? Did you watch TV? This is something happened in the past. Were you watching TV while you were eating? Yes, I was, or no? I wasn't. It depends on you, the answer, okay? So here in our book, page 22 and 23, we have different pictures of different activities, different things people do, okay? So we have 2, 3, 4 actions happening in the same time for different people, okay? This is why I asked you the question, what were you doing? What about your family around you? I want you to think about our city. Do you think every student around your class did the same thing you did in the morning? Were they taking a shower? Were they eating breakfast? Were they fighting with their siblings? What were they doing? Do you have the same thing? No, every one of us have their own morning routine, صح? So also here in the pictures, we have a big map. As you can see at the background, you can see a big map. Different actions happening to different people around the city, صح? Okay, so here in the first pictures, what can you see? You see, excellent, it's a taxi. Is it a regular taxi? Is it a regular taxi? No. Is it a car? No, it's what? It's a bicycle, صح? It's a bicycle, so it's a new kind of taxi. Do we have this in Saudi Arabia? Have you ever seen this around your city? Have you ever seen a bicycle, but it's a taxi? We call it a pedal cab. We call it a pedal cab, okay? This is what is it called, okay? So this type of taxis, do we have it around the city? Here, around your city in Saudi Arabia? For me personally, I have never seen this kind of taxis, okay? So do you think if you go, for example, to a new city and you saw this taxi, would you try? Would you try riding this type of taxi? Do you think it's a good way to see the city? If you are in a car, the car will be fast, صح? You will miss many things. But if you are in a pedal taxi, you have the chance to look around the city. You wouldn't miss anything. I think it's a great way to see the city, okay? In the other picture here, you have something similar. You see in your book, you have two people. One of them is holding a big map. He's holding a map, okay? And another person is showing him direction. Do you think these two people are from the same city? No, they're not. How did you know? Yes, because they didn't know where to go. When you go to another city, you wouldn't know the directions, صح? You need help. You need a map. Even with your phone, you don't have to have an actual map. On our phones, we have maps, صح? We use Google Maps. We use different applications to show maps, directions. So if you're not from the city, the people who are not from the same city, what do we call them? Okay? We are Saudis, صح? We live in this city. We are citizens. We live here. طيب, if a person comes from Emirat or from Kuwait or from America or from Britain, what do we call them? Do we call them citizens? لا, they are here to see Riyadh or to see Abha or to see Jeddah. What do we call this person who is coming to the city to see the great places around it? We call him a tourist, okay? We call him a tourist, okay? Also, you can see on page 22 a picture of a man. I think he's wearing black on your book. He's wearing black and he is giving flyers. He's giving flyers. On the flyers, can you see the word written on your book? There is a word written, sale, excellent. The word mentioned there is sale. Okay, so what do you think? He has a lot of flyers and he is giving it to people. Why do you think he's doing that? Why do you think he's giving people flyers showing sale? He wants, excellent, he wants people to come and check the sale in his store, صح? To see the sale, to attract more people, to show people around his store, okay? People are walking and he's inviting them to see the store, okay? And the fourth picture, we can see a man, he's wearing a suit. Do you think the man is walking in a calm way? Is he okay? La, he's running. He is in a hurry. Yes, he is in a hurry. Maybe he is late for work. Maybe he's late for an appointment. So he is in a hurry. He's not taking his time walking around. Yes, he is in a hurry. Do you know any person around you who is always in a hurry? Your father, he is always in a hurry. How can you avoid being like that, being always in a hurry? If you arrange your time, if you wake up early, and take your breakfast. You have time for breakfast, for everything, to reach your appointments, your school, your universities in a good time. You wouldn't have to be in a hurry like this man. صح? And in page 23 we have 4 more pictures. صح? The first one here, we can see a man. He is pointing in the street. صح? He is pointing. What do you think he's pointing for? What? He's pointing for what? Yes, he is hailing a taxi. He's calling for a taxi. We say he's hailing for a taxi. He's calling a taxi. He wants to stop the taxi so he can get inside and go to his destination. You just raise your hand, so the taxi driver, when he's driving, he will see you, and then he will stop and you will discuss the fare, or you can use meters and you go to your destinations. Do you use taxis often? Do you? No, you don't? Excellent. I don't think it's a good way to be around the city. It's expensive. It's not always safe. So if you don't know around the city, then maybe you will be there will be a fraud. They will charge you more, for example, or they will go around. I think better if you use the public transportation like the buses, or ask someone to drive you around the family. صح? We have here another picture, a man on your book, a man, he's using his phone. صح? He's using his cell phone. Where do you think he is standing? Do you think he is standing in somewhere specific? Look at the place. What do we call this place? A bus stop. It's a bus stop. We call it a bus stop. He stands there and he waits for the bus to come, and then he can take the bus. Okay? And the third picture on this page, we have a man. He's wearing glasses and he's selling what? What do you see? He's selling what? He's selling watches. Excellent. He's selling watches. Do you think these watches are real or fake? Do you think they are expensive? Do they have insurance? After 1 year insurance, if they don't work, will you go back to this seller and tell him, please fix it? لا, I think these are fake. From the expressions and the way the man looks, he doesn't look sincere. He doesn't look honest. صح? He doesn't look honest. He looks like someone who would sell fake watches. صح? Have you ever bought anything from the street, around the street? Do you see people selling things around the street when you leave the mosque, for example, especially on Friday after Al-Jum'ah prayer, صح? We see a lot of people, they're selling things, صح? Have you ever bought things from these street sellers? Yes, you did. No, you didn't. It's usually fake, but it's very cheap. Okay, very cheap things you can buy there. The last picture, picture 4, we can see a man, okay, and another one who tries to what? He's trying to, excellent, he's trying to steal from the other one. And behind them we see a police officer who saw what happened, what is happening in front of him, صح? So we see 3, the police officer at the back, and we see a man trying to steal from another person, okay? Have you, when you travel to a new place or around Saudi, have you ever encountered something like this? Have you ever, did anyone steal from you, or you haven't? Did it happen to you before or didn't? Some of you said yes, some of you said no. If it happens, can you share your story? What happened? Why did you leave your things, or you had it and they took it from your pocket? Tell your friends the story. So we looked at the pictures, okay? And on page 22, we have this question. Compare the people and the situations in the pictures to the ones in your town. Do you think we have the same things around our town? Do you think people stop the taxi the same way as the man? Do you think the people around your city always in a hurry? Yeah, especially in the morning, I agree. During the morning rush, people are always in a hurry, صح? What about the people who are standing in a bus stop? Do we have this around? A bus stop and people waiting for it? Not a lot. We don't have that a lot. We have many taxis around. What about, we talked about the people who sell things on the street. Share the stories and the things you can see around the cities and compare it to the situations you can see in front of you. This is for question 1. Question 2. Match the pictures to the descriptions below. Write letters in the circles. We have, in every picture, we have a circle. And here at the bottom of page 22, you can see impressions of a city. Impressions of a city. So read the impressions. The first one, the people who live in the city are always in a hurry. Which picture showed us that? Which picture? Look at the pictures and write A. Okay? B. A man who was dressed in black was handing out flyers. صح? The flyers, there was sale on it. There is a sale word written on it. Which picture is it? Write B. C. The watches that the man was selling were fakes. They were not original, they are fake. Okay? D, the pedal cap, the taxi looks like a bicycle, we call it a pedal cap. This is the word, okay? That was at the side of the road is a typical attraction in the town. A typical attraction, that means it attracts people. People, they go and pick it up so they can see the city around them. And here we have E, the man who was giving directions to the tourist is a guide. Okay, what does a guide mean? The man who's giving direction, he's a guide. He guide them, he showed them the direction. When you give direction, we call this person a guide. Okay? F, the thief was trying to steal the boy's backpack when the police officers saw him. Okay, which picture is it? Looking at the pictures, which one is it? And write the letter. A man was talking on his cell phone while he was waiting for the bus. Which picture is it? Write the letter. The man who was hailing a taxi had to get to a business meeting. He wanted to go to a business meeting. Read the impressions at the bottom of the page. Try to match it to the pictures on page 22 and 23. Okay, let's try to do some of it, do it together. Okay, so we have here a pedal taxi, and which one is it? So let's do it one by one. A, the people who live in the city are always in a hurry. Which picture is it? Excellent, this is the picture. So here we write A. Excellent. Now let's look back. B, a man who was dressed in black was handing out flyers. Which picture is it? Excellent, this one. So we write here B. We write B. C, the watches that the man was selling were fakes. Which pictures is it? This is C. Which picture is it? Which one selling watches? Can we see it in page 22? No, we can see it. We can see it in page 23. So we write C. Excellent. Now for D, the pedal cap that was at the side of the road. Which one shows the pedal cap? Which one is it? Excellent, on page 22. So we write D. Okay? Now going back to E. The man who was giving directions to the tourist. Where can we see this man giving directions? Excellent, on page 22. So we write E. What about F? The thief was trying to steal the boy's bag when the police officer saw him. Which page is it? Is it on page 22? No, we finished 22. So it is on page 23. So we write F here. He was stealing. He was trying to steal. G, a man was talking on his cell phone while he was waiting for the bus stop. Where can we see him? And here we write, excellent, G. The last one we have here is H. The man who was hailing for a taxi had to get to a business meeting. We can see him in page 23 and we write H. Okay? Easy? I'm sure it's very easy. As you can see, we wrote the letters. We matched the impressions on page 22. We match it to the pictures. Okay? Now, for the quick check, a vocabulary here, as they say, mentioned in the book, look at the pictures for 10 seconds. He wants you to look at the pictures. Then you have to close your books. Try to write down statements. Okay, write down a list of things you saw on the street. What did you see? Without even looking from what we said, what can you see? You can see a pedal cap and you can see a man hailing, excellent, for a taxi. You saw a man who wearing a business suit in a hurry to be in his business meeting. Also, we saw a man who is selling watches, excellent. What else? We saw a thief, excellent, trying to steal from another person, and the policeman saw him. So we talked about things, try to put it in sentences, things we saw people do around the pictures we on page 22 and 23. Okay? Now for the comprehension, match the two parts of the sentences. Here we have number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to match it from A to E. The people who live in the city. What do you think the people who live in a city, how are they? Read it. How are they? Okay? 2, the man was talking on the phone. Where is he talking on the phone? Where? So try to complete it and match, okay? Number 3, the officer who was on duty. What did the officer, the policeman, what did he see on the picture? What did he see in front of him? Write down the letter here. The man who was hailing for the taxi, what happened to that man? What do you think, he is in a hurry or what? Write down the letter. 5, the man was giving directions. What do we call the man who's giving directions? Okay? He is giving directions to whom? Who are the people he's giving directions to? So pause the video, try to do and match the letters. Let's do it one by one. So the people who live in a city, they are, saw the thief, they, excellent, was in a hurry. So we write B. Okay? No, sorry, it's D. Not in a hurry, because we're talking about the people. Seem to have a little time. They don't have a lot of time. So this is the answer, D. Okay? The man was talking on the phone. When he was talking in the phone, what did he see? He saw the thief? No. Did he give directions? No, he was, excellent, while he was waiting for the bus. So we write E here, okay? The officer who was on duty, what happened to the officer? What happened to the officer? We finished D and E. So what happened to the officer? What did he do? Excellent. He saw the thief. So we write A here. Number 4, the man who was hailing for a taxi. What do you think? He looks okay, or he was in a hurry. So we write B, and the last one, C, the man who was giving directions to some tourists who were lost. So we did it together based on the pictures. Let's see the answers. So for the first one, as we said, D, E, A, B, and C. Okay? Now let's see for pair work. Ask and answer questions about the pictures. So look at the pictures and try to ask each other questions related to the pictures. What was the man doing while he was waiting for the bus? Look at the pictures. What was the man doing? He was using his phone. صح? He was talking on his cell phone. This is the answer. What about another picture? Who is that man? He is the one who was handing out flyers. We're talking about the man who's wearing a black. Try to ask each other questions. Point out at things you can see around the pictures on page 22 and 23. Ask each other questions. Listen to your friends' answers. I prepared some questions. What was the man in the suit trying to do? The man who is wearing a suit, what is he trying to do? He was trying to hail for a taxi. He was trying to stop a taxi. Excellent. Were there any police in the area? So around the area where the man trying to steal, were there, can you see a police officer? Yes, there were. صح? Were there any tourists? From the picture where they have a map, can you see a tourist? Yes, there were. What was the man in black handing out? The man who's wearing black, what did he hand out? Can you tell me what did he do? He was advertising, you can say, or you can say he was handing out sales flyers. We call it sales flyers. You can answer it in 2 ways. Try to ask each other questions about the pictures as we did together. For your homework, I want you to do page 101. Before we do the homework, let's read it together. Look at the photos, complete the sentences using the words in the box. Do you know every word here? Let's go back and revise the meaning of these words. We have a pedal cap. This is a picture of a pedal cap. So pedal cap, this is a pedal cap. A taxi, you know, what does a taxi mean? It's the same one here, but it's a car. And thief, this man here who is trying to steal, he is a thief. Fake, when you remember the watches, they are fake. Steal, this is the action, stealing tourists, people who are not around the city. Read the questions, do it together, do it at your home, page 101. And inshallah we will go through the answers next class. If we want to recall what we covered, we saw some pictures, we discussed it. We learned some vocabulary related to people activities, and we ask and answer questions related to the photos, related to people's activities around the city. That's it for today. Thank you for listening, and inshallah I will see you next class.